Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is INX Prime Live. Remember, we are on your screens every single Monday to Friday between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now, tonight we have the privilege of welcoming Thulane Molefe. Now, he is a dynamic and passionate leader in the field of personal development as well as empowerment. In just 10 years, Thulane has helped many people to thrive by using his diverse skill set that spans not only pastoral care, but also teen coaching, media engagement, as well as strategic training, as well as mental health advocacy. Now, we're definitely looking forward to having this conversation with him, and he's right in studio with us as well. Good evening, Thulane. Thank you so much for joining us here at INX Prime Live.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and hello to all your viewers at home.
No, perfect. Thank you so much. And I know that you've done so much. We did just mention it now, 10 years of a lot of hard work and a lot of achievements and accolades. But let's take it back. I want to understand, your journey in terms of personal development. I know it started off, obviously, being in the pastoral space and pastoral care as well. How has that actually shaped, or how has that experience actually shaped who you are today?
Well, I'll just say in the way that my career as a life coach started, it started way back because, when I was in ministry, back in Tembisa, I got ordained at a very, very, very young age, actually, because my gift was spotted by my leaders at a very, very, very young age. They then were able to groom me, and over the years, I then moved into life coaching space. So it actually really did shape me in terms of understanding people and what it is that they need and what's really important to them, and being able to understand their emotional state. Because for me, I think what's mostly important and what drove me into human development and life coaching and pastoral care is really trying to understand the human behavior, how we behave, and how our behavior can actually be changed for the better. And for our own development, sure.
Yeah, and it's such an important thing to consider that. But I know that you've also, like you said, you got into life coaching, which is such a cool thing. A lot of people really enjoy it and they see a lot of benefit from it. But away from just normal life coaching, I know that you focused a lot on our youth in the country, and looking after young people in South Africa is such an important responsibility for all of us because of the high levels of unemployment, and also a lot of our young people are very confused at the moment. They don't have a lot of direction. And they're looking for opportunities and solutions to improve their lives. But I know that you spoke about teen coaching. Now, teen coaching is something that you are focused on. Tell me, why is it so important for us to, or for you in particular, to be able to do these teen coaching, sessions or whatever it might be to improve the lives of our young people?
Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge that being a young person comes with a lot of challenges. It really isn't easy being a young person, growing and evolving and changing over the years, because as you grow, your changes need as well. And that also speaks to your belief system as a young person, who you want to become at the end of the day. And I'm going to just give you an example of how a lot of people actually ended up in the wrong careers, in the wrong relationships, in the wrong fields, in the wrong situations, all because there wasn't any form of coaching. So coaching actually comes in very handy in assisting our young people find direction, clarity, and really fully understand who they are and be able to follow their dream regardless of what their situation is. So actually coaching comes in very, very, very handy, and it is a great tool in assisting our young people today. Given our high rate of unemployment that we are in right now, a lot of emotional support is needed. And that is where then I would say to you, life coaching comes in that sense.
No, brilliant. And also just looking at, you are a life coach, you obviously spent some time as a pastor as well. But you've done so many different things in your life. And I think the one thing that you understand is the concept of branding yourself correctly, right? And I know that you've worked quite closely with some of the radio platforms in South Africa, like Middelburg FM, as well as the Voice of Tembisa. And you have your own segment on there where you're speaking to young people and speaking to an audience. Why is it so important that people engage on different platforms? We've seen someone like Avusi Tembogwayo, for example, done such a great job because he's commercialized his brand and allowed people and different companies and corporates and platforms to be able to partner up with him. Why is it important that that happens?
Well, when it comes to the issue of branding, I think the most important thing, and which I believe is a challenge to most entrepreneurs or for any other person out there, the issue of consistency. Consistency is not very easy for a lot of people, but at the end of the day, it's the only way you can actually build a brand that stands out and a brand that is sustainable and over time, because it actually is like building a portfolio for yourself. building a body of work for yourself. It also builds in credibility for yourself. So I think consistency in building a brand on any form of platform, it could be LinkedIn, it could be, any social media platform. Consistency is what builds in, a brand that stands out, a brand that will be a powerful brand one day.
Yeah, I
So
definitely
I think
believe
it's quite
that.
very, very important, sure.
I see that with you. I definitely see it with you because you're someone who wants to invest in young people. And, I've seen it in terms of your training as well. I know you've worked with the National Youth Development Agency, the NYDA, to be able to, train a lot of young people when it comes to strategic marketing. Now, obviously, it's important for young people to learn skills. But why should they acquire professional skills from such a young age? I mean, away from just getting employment, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very, very important to acknowledge that not everyone is born to be employed formally. And not everyone is actually born to be an entrepreneur. So it is so important that, when it comes to the entrepreneurial part of things, aspect of things, that there is proper coaching done there, because entrepreneurship, to begin with, in this country is not so easy. Entrepreneurship is not so much understood in many black families in particular, and even in any other race. So I think if there is a professional life coach assisting any other entrepreneur on any skill that one requires in entrepreneurship, that can really come in handy. In fact, in life coaching, we journey with you because we understand all the dynamics, and we understand that there's importance. I mean, in life coaching, for example, there's what we call goal setting. So when you are able to work through a goal setting strategy, it allows you to map and actually create your own GPS to where you want to head to, and also allows you to see if there will be any blocks. And also it can even show you things like for example, if there will be a rain. So it's like a GPS that carries everything, your entire journey, what you may come across, and how you need to navigate, and how you need to sort of remain flexible on your path, on your journey to success as an entrepreneur in South Africa.
No, without a doubt. And I know a lot of people are enjoying this conversation. We are getting comments and questions coming in from social media. And we have a question coming in from Charles, actually. I didn't know, but you're actually an author as well, which is such a huge achievement. Sure. He says he's actually read your book, Journey Within. But tell us a little bit more about your book and also your entrepreneurial journey in that sense.
Well, my book is actually going to be officially launched in October. It's called Journey Within, and Journey Within is really about what I try and bring out. There is all answers that you are looking for are within you, right? So you just need to journey within yourself. Even to the strongest questions and to the biggest questions, in life, all answers are buried within each and every person. It's really being able to sit down and correctly introspect and correctly reflect. I mean, we live in a time where it's very easy to just blame your friends, to blame your family should things go wrong. But I think over the years, even in my own, because for me to actually start writing the material that I've written and produced, it actually was about my own life. There were answers I was looking for. And through journaling, through introspection, through reflecting, I discovered that all answers have always been inside me, and not with my family and not with my friends. So that's what it basically does. It pushes you to look within. It pushes you to reflect. It pushes you to slow down and ask yourself questions, because we are constantly on autopilot. So that's basically what my book is about, Journey Within.
Yeah, it sounds very, very exciting as well.
Yeah.
I just want to touch on another thing, Thulane. Looking at someone like you, you're very ambitious, you're someone who's consistently doing things. What are some of your future plans in terms of your own personal brand and some of the things you'd like to achieve, let's say, in the next 5 or 10 years?
Well, in the next 10 to 5 years, I should be on my second book. That's the first one. And I should actually be running a much more stable practice, because things are failing you at this point. So I am guessing in the next 5 years, as I said to you, with consistency and with time. So over the years, I should actually be where I want to be in terms of running a practice that is big, that is successful. So yeah, and actually we have more and more programs coming in. The name of my company is called Resonance Coaching and Hypnotherapy. So we do a lot of coaching work. We also have programs for say, for example, your employee wellness coaching programs, where we have employees coming in together and talking about what really happens in the workplace and how they can survive. And we also try build, sort of toolbox for them to, survive and be able to cope in any work environment, given that the corporate world is slowly changing, actually, and the culture is slowly changing. So we have a lot that's coming up. So in the next five years, hopefully, resonance should be way ahead and actually international.
Brilliant. And you just mentioned something that we did get a question coming in as well from Darren. Darren was saying that when it comes to corporate culture, it's very different according to every single company, like you did mention. But I think what's important is that he wants to know what would be the perfect kind of example of corporate culture in South Africa. What would be the perfect ideal situation?
Well, I think, and I come across a lot of that in the line of work that I do with employees who are actually struggling with burnout, who are struggling with anxiety and stress due to work, and most of them are actually coming up and saying that they're working in toxic work environments. But what we've discovered is values are very, very, very important, and that is what you will find in any coaching session. We need to go down, sort of work down your values individually and try align your values and what's important to you with the values of the organization. So it's really a matter of being able to align both values, your values and the values of the organization. If I know your values and I respect your values, it becomes easy to satisfy you, and in return, you can also improve and perform at your best.
It's very, very powerful, Thulane.
Sure.
Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a great conversation.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, guys. That is Thulane Molefe, who is actually a life coach that also has achieved so many different things in his life. He's an author as well. And we do definitely wish him well with his upcoming endeavors as well.